So I'm gonna share a story to just share my enthusiasm and my love for self forgiveness, the tool of self forgiveness, which astounds and baffles me time and again with how effective it is in times of great trouble, times where you sink into the depths of yourself, meaning your mind. You sink into the depths that your own mind can travel. And I don't know how many people are actually able to relate this because we all have different minds. We all have different, mind setups, mind programmings, mind personalities, but at the same time, across the board, we're very similar, and there's going to be a lot of people out there that can very much relate to my particular mind programming that I'm sharing about. And so, this is specifically a moment not too long ago, actually, right after Christmas, where, let me just contextualize, create the right setup here or context. So the moment in question is an emotional moment. There is a very, very specific emotion that throughout my life has visited me um, often, and that is a very, very particular or specific, like a kind of a downward spiral type of programming. It just kind of, it's like a spiral, and it feels like a spiral that I go into of almost like a destructive, self-destructive kind of spiral of depression and feeling down. And it's like a feeling down that keeps going down, and there's no end to it. And I just keep going down, down, down. And the more down I go down the spiral, the more I'm willing to destroy myself, my life, everything in my life, the more willing I am to give up on everything within myself, in my life. And it's a very sort of self-destructive kind of experience, overall experience. It feels like a giving up, a gradual giving up of everything. Anyway, I guess if you can relate, then you can relate. If you can't, you can't. But this has been throughout my life a very specific kind of experience that I've always just struggled with, let's say, because once it activates, once it comes up, there's no stopping it. I just go down that rabbit hole and pretty much end up destroying myself willingly. It just kind of happens. End up giving up on everything that I value in my life willingly. Because in that moment, it feels like, quote unquote, the right thing to do. This is just what I do. And in this particular moment, the context is me sitting on the couch with my baby, toddler, Marie, after coming home from a Christmas party. And on the ride home, having thoroughly gone into this feeling, which I haven't actually gone into in years, and yet here I was, thoroughly already busy loathing myself in the car. As we got home, the feeling and the experience of self-loathing which accompanies this downward spiral, getting more and more and deeper and deeper. And the reason why self-loathing accompanies this downward spiral is because I am essentially my own audience as well. I'm watching myself, allowing myself going down this spiral of feeling down and getting more and more depressed and giving up on myself more and more, or at least going into the experience of it more and more and more. I'm just allowing myself to feel this way. And that makes me loathe myself because it's like a part of me knows what I'm doing. I know I'm allowing this. I know I'm allowing myself to sink deeper into the quicksand, and I'm doing nothing to get myself back out. And I don't feel like I know how to get myself back out. And obviously at the same time, I'm kind of watching myself going, you disgusting human, like, just don't go there. Just don't go into this. So anyway, that's the self-loathing part as well. So it all connects to the downward spiral. It all kind of chips in to me chipping away at myself. And obviously, when you're in that whole spiral, you also feel like there's just no way out. And it starts to feel very, very constricting, like I'm trying to break free and I'm trying to get out of this thing that is almost like a rope tied around me, like a spiral tied around me that's constricting me more and more with all of these little thoughts that are filtering into my mind, all these little thoughts, all the emotions of just feeling down, feeling more and more depressed, more and more self-loathing, and it starts to get tighter and tighter, and I am just trying to struggle and fight it. But the more I fight, I just know, like, there's no way out, because obviously I'm doing this to myself and I'm not giving myself a way out. So generally, usually what ends up happening is that I just kind of become just a lazy mess, let's call it. Like, I have to sleep it off, or I have to curl up into a little ball and just let all of this energy, all of these thoughts, all of this whole state of mind, just let it disappear and let it kind of dissipate until I feel like enough of a person again to get up. But this time I applied self-forgiveness while sitting on the couch at home, because obviously I realized, look, I'm in a lot of ways, having a child has really impressed upon me that I cannot allow so many things anymore. There are just certain things you don't do, like certain things that you just don't, that you understand you can't go there, like full-on self-destruction, that type of stuff, or full-on depression where you start isolating yourself and pushing people away, or full-on destroying and giving up on things in your life. You just can't do that when you have a child, because you have a responsibility. So anyway, so the self-forgiveness just supported me in that moment to in so many ways. Like, not just, it supported me not just to develop more understanding of this whole thing that I go into, but it also supported me with realizing that the self-loathing is based on me not allowing myself to understand myself, or not developing the understanding necessary for me to be able to effectively support myself, to not so much break free from this programming, but actually simply realize that it's not me and it's not real. And also it supported me also to just take on the self-judgment that comes with it, that also shackled me to this whole downward spiral. And so, yeah, I mean, it's so this is where, self-forgiveness is amazing, because not in a million years did I ever realize or understand or even consider that it would be possible to break out of, let's call it, this programming, because it's always just run its course, and because it's always just been a part of me and my mind, my life, just my whole experience of myself. But here I am applying this tool that allows me to develop the understanding necessary of myself, my own mind, how I came to design and program myself in this way, the understanding necessary for me to be able to forgive myself, for me to be able to let go of the things that I'm able to let go of, for me to be able to be gentle with myself, be more supportive with myself, because obviously a lot of this whole programming and why this whole downward spiral in the mind is so effective at self-destruction is because there is a lot of understanding that's lacking. There's a lot of understanding of self that is just not in place. And instead of understanding, there's a lot of judgment. And through the judgment, I lock myself in to something that is self-destructive, whereas understanding facilitates forgiveness and gentleness with yourself and self-support and all the things necessary to help yourself change and correct these kind of things about yourself, where you just have to see that, okay, this is just something I've developed throughout my life, and it's just not actually who I really am. So anyway, I've been wanting to share that since supporting myself with self-forgiveness after Christmas. And it's a long story, and I just want to go on and on, really. I just want to open this whole thing up as well in terms of how this programming exists, because I'm sure that there are people out there who can relate, and it really, really sucks when you're in it. And it's such a simple solution that all you need is some understanding of yourself, of your own mind, of your history. And it's so unfortunate that we don't generally have that understanding, and that the only way you can really develop that understanding is through self-forgiveness, through applying tools like self-forgiveness, and then also writing. And it's only through applying these tools that you come to that simple point of just having some more understanding of yourself, and through understanding you're able to change. It's these doors that all of a sudden open, and you realize, wow, there's actually a lot more that's possible than I imagined and than I thought. So that's why I'm a self-forgiveness enthusiast and fanatic. Because it really helps change the things that we tend to believe are impossible to change. Things about, most of all, ourselves, our own mind, our own programming. And please leave a comment on this video if you can relate, and or if you would like me to expand on or go deeper into this downward spiral programming. If you're curious, what the points of understanding are that came up and that assisted and supported me to kind of let go, I guess, to transcend it, to, in that moment, just almost at the snap of a finger, kind of just get over it. Just snap out of it. That's literally what happens. You just kind of snap out of it just because of the understanding that you've developed through self-forgiveness. And it is absolutely wondrous and amazing. And I would suggest to anyone, especially obviously if you can relate to my story, my little story here, to check out the tool of self-forgiveness. Check out Destiny, which is how I came upon self-forgiveness. The Destiny, the DIP Lite process. It's a free online course. And yeah, just start assisting and supporting yourself, because like it's pretty rad. All right. So anyway, yeah, leave a comment if you want me to expand, and I'll make another video. Thank you. Bye.